Doesn't change. So what does that mean for him financially is now that inflation and gas prices, right? California, you guys who keep voting for these crazy things. Seniors, you guys are the ones that are going to save us. It's not going to be the millennials. They want free stuff just because they breathe.
That's right.
I exist, therefore I get.
Oh,
you don't understand,
goodness.
Mommy. I need a trophy just because I showed up. Seniors, you guys know the big picture. There's no reason in the world we have $4 gallon gasoline and you go over the border to Lake Havasu and it's $1.95 or $2.10. Right? What you guys understand that
It's amazing. Absolutely
we should
amazing.
have the best bridges and roads. You should say, well, gosh darn it. Yeah, that's right. We pay for it. But look at our roads. We don't have a pothole as far as the eye can see. But they don't do that.
Still, what about, there's no doubt in my mind that the group 74 and older that are not in these studies are ones that are getting hit right now, and they didn't have any student loans.
Yes.
They're just being faced with the property taxes. They're being faced with higher medical care and health care costs that they didn't realize. They're being faced with drug costs that are a lot higher.
You're exactly
being faced
right.
with some of the things they like to do for their kids and their grandkids, and allowing them, giving them the opportunity that they had as well, getting an education and getting a home.
Because they bought into the plan that I think our millennials are trying to figure it out. The generation of 30-somethings, 30 to 40s, they get it. They understand. Their bankruptcies are down by 64%. The reason I say that the 30s and 40s get it is because they are fresh enough in their memory. They were making money. They know what it was like in 2000. They know what it was like in 2008, at least either themselves or through their family. Today, seniors bought into a deal that said, don't worry, the government's going to take care of everything. We have this housing thing, so don't worry, we're going to guarantee your home loan. Why do you think home prices are through the roof? Because drywall is that much more expensive? Because there's no more land to build houses? Of course not. There are. There's plenty. Just get up on any mountain and look left or right. So what is the difference? Whenever the government gets involved, just think of it for a second. I'll give you a good example. I went to buy solar for my house many years ago. And it was before the government subsidies. And they said, okay, here's the cost of solar. It was like $11,000, I think. And I thought, gosh, I can't afford that. I was younger. I'm like, I just can't do that right now. Then they came out with this government subsidy of $7,000 and $4,000, and I thought, you know what? Even if it's gone up a little bit, I could probably afford it. So I call the guy back. It's been a few years. I call him back. I figure it's gone up a little bit, right? I said, hey, what's the cost for solar? He said, it's $26,000. I said, oh my gosh. When I did the math, I was still going to have to pay $10,000. I said, it was $7,500. He goes, yeah, but now the government subsidy. I go, well, where's the money go? And he's hemming and hawing. I said, listen, I'm a business guy. Where does the money go? He said, we just raised the prices because we knew that's what the government was going to pay. We didn't just give away free solar so that you paid nothing. You still have to pay. We just take it from the government. Listen, there's a place for it. Obviously, you can tell I'm more of a libertarian when the government gets involved with your financial life. I think it's a very dangerous dance. Today, we are seeing the problems. The problems are simple. Seniors who said, I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to get that master's. I'm going to go back. I'm going to buy into whatever the plan is. Healthcare. Oh, yeah, I think everybody should have health insurance. I think everybody should have free housing or discounts in housing. And today, somebody has to pay for it. And as those prices go up, you will see time and again that it is our seniors focused on a fixed budget that end up paying the price.
So I know our seniors are listening right now, and they're just a little bit worried that they're going to go into bankruptcy. And how do we alleviate some of their fears and their worries about that? Arif, what can our seniors do to try to get off that train that's going over a cliff?
Stay away from consumer debt. Stay away from debt that is credit card debt, automobile debt. If you can't afford to pay it in cash or pay it off in 1 year, I'm okay with 1 year. But that would include an automobile. So that means you're not going to be buying a brand new car tomorrow. Now listen, if you have, look, I sat with a lady today. She's a senior. She had some great investments that happened to hit. Mm-hmm. Her monthly budget was $3,000 a month. Even if everything goes sideways, she's going to make $6,000 a month in retirement. So we're able to help her set up to ladder her income so it's all safe and protected. We have it coming on at certain times. And she sat there. She said, Arif, I don't even know what to do. My car's paid off. I owe very little on my home. My bills are very low. What am I going to do with all that extra money? Okay, well, that's a wonderful problem to have,
Yeah,
right?
Yes, it is.
So her charitable involvement is going to go through the roof because that's where her heart is, and that's a wonderful thing. Mm-hmm. But unless you're in a situation where you say, gosh, my food, shelter, clothing is being met, and then some, I have extra, I don't want you to get into consumer debt. Stay away from the credit cards. You want to charge for the free miles, I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. For points, take them all day long. But stay away from that consumer debt because the 20, 30, 40% interest could eat you alive.
Yeah, contain yourself. If you don't need it, don't get it, don't pull out that credit card. Would you say one of the things to have is carry some cash around with you so you recognize how much you are actually spending? Because a lot of people use that credit card, you go to the store, you don't realize that your grocery bill has gone up maybe 50%.
Yeah, you could swipe that thing all day long and
that's right.
People don't pay
that
attention.
Realization won't be there. So you really have to start containing yourself. If you have a car, keep the upkeep on it. Make sure you change your oil. Do the little things. You don't need a brand new car to get around. The old ones, 5 years old, 10 years old, they're going to last another 5 or 10 years. So just run with that and stay with it so you have a car to drive, at least during this time.
Yeah, part of my tricks and tips and tricks, if you will, on how to, when you're in retirement or on a fixed income and you need to buy something like a car, because sometimes we need to, I want you to play pretend for 3 months. Oh, it's going to cost me $380 extra per month. Okay, you take $380 a month. You set it aside. Mm-hmm. Put it in a savings account each and every month. Were you able to still live the standard of living you want? Did you not go into debt? Are you able to still enjoy the eating out and whatever other luxuries you want? Great. Then, yesterday you were putting $380 a month into a savings. Tomorrow you can pay a car payment and your lifestyle doesn't change. Keeps you from going into debt without saying, uh-oh, I've now bitten off more than I could chew.
The reality is out there, though, now for our seniors. And,
yes.
I'm not sure how the economy is going to go, but, here in Santa Clarita, we are seeing more homeless seniors. That's a fear for them. We are seeing more patients going into nursing home. That's a fear for them. And certainly bankruptcy and going into bankruptcy is a fear for them because it leads to not having a car, not having a home, not having any money, and possibly being on the street. We do not want Santa Clarita seniors having to face that.
Well, the 2013 healthcare spending as a percentage of income has gone up 22% from 13 to now. That means 22% of your income right now as a senior is going towards health-related expenses. And there's a facility here in town, I'll tell you off air because we have a friend that's there now, where the cost is $8,000 a month. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't include the full assisted living, which could be as high as 10. Mm-hmm. That's enormous.
It's enormous.
Where do people come up with that kind of money when you're living on a fixed income?
And there are commercials all over the place that just talk about how you can solve that problem. But are they legitimate? Are they going to take you down the right road? Or the fork in the road is going to lead you down to the wrong road? That's what's happening now. Our seniors are facing that. They're hearing it in the news, on the radio, all over the place, Arif. We have to keep them off the street. We have to keep them in their homes. We have to make sure that they have a viable life here in Santa Clarita.
That's right. Why should you be chased out of here and be forced to move out of state or to a place that's just as, not where your friends, family, and churches are?
It's not home.
That's right. It's not a right thing.
It's not home. And I think we need to take a break, don't we? I don't know whether our next guest is here.
She is, yes.
Is she here?
Mm-hmm.
Is she
here?
Is. Very good. Okay, well then we have to boot you out.
No, that's okay. I'm all right with that.
But
I
not
love
into
being
bankruptcy,
here.
at least.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. Have a wonderful week.
You too, Arif. Thanks for the info.
It was great information.
You're welcome.
I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, KHTS.
I've been into cars ever since I was 6 years old. I helped my dad build race cars in our driveway.
Dave Reeves, owner of Reeves Complete Auto Center.
I love cars. I've been in automotive service my whole life. I ran my dad's wrecking yard and rearing shop, managed several auto repairs until I opened my own auto repair facility.
Reeves, on Ruther in Canyon Country.
I learned customer service and honest communication make the difference.
Reeves, your complete auto service center.
Call Reeves at 252-1400.
Your building sign is essential in getting customers to your location. Feathers can help get your business noticed. They walk you through each phase of your building sign project, providing special attention to detail and quality. Feathers will give you a sign you can be proud of. Your building sign will draw customers in instead of having them drive by. Feathers on Soledad in Canyon Country, across from the Edwards Theater. Or go to feathersphoto.com. That's feathersphoto.com.
Been a long day. You've been working hard. You know what you need? A nice home-cooked meal. Family-owned and operated restaurant Bella Cucina has provided the Santa Clarita Valley with authentic Italian cuisine for over 10 years. Bella Cucina now offers Italian Sunday brunch to the neighborhood from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., all for $6.99 to $11.99. Relax inside their charming restaurant, at the bar, or on the patio to eat, sip on bottomless mimosas, and watch sports all year round. Bella Cucina, off Seco Canyon and Copper Hill.
At Advanced Audiology, we know how important hearing is to you, your loved ones, your work success, your safety, and your ability to stay in the game. Most people won't admit hearing loss to themselves or others. We make it easy for you. Today's digital hearing aids come in a variety of styles, including invisible. All feature-rich, providing unparalleled hearing quality, wearing comfort, and automation that simplifies your life. Don't be fooled by our imitators. There's only one Advanced Audiology with the purple sign, next to AAA on Valencia Boulevard.
Hey, this is Ellen Kay, and did you know Exer More Than Urgent Care is open daily in Stevenson Ranch? Exer is the ER alternative that's built and staffed by ER doctors. With on-site lab, x-ray, and pharmacy, Exer has more medical services than a typical clinic. Walk in and be seen in minutes. Open 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. For more information, just go to exerurgentcare.com. That's EXER urgentcare.com.
Santa Clarita's hometown station.
Now FM, 98.1 FM, and AM-1220, your hometown station.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, KHTS. And now we have Kim Wahl.
Hi, guys.
Who's an
Kim,
alternative medicine advocate.
That I am.
Now, that's a mouthful. It is for me, but I said it very clearly. I enunciated properly.
Very good. Hello, guys. How are ya?
Just fine. How are you doing on this nice, hot Santa Clarita day?
Schmelting day.
Where some people are wearing oxygen, not as a usual thing they need to do, but because the air quality is not very great today, is it?
No, it's pretty bad out there.
Yeah.
And it was bad yesterday, too.
I'm a little wedding hungover. My youngest daughter got married at my home last weekend.
Congratulations.
Oh, my gosh. It was spectacular. And I wanted to just share the simplicity of a statement that was given to us by some of the people around. They said they called it, they could see it was a labor of love. And it's so crazy in our world today how we've outsourced so many things that used to bring value and memory and joy to an event or to an occasion. And it was so interesting to hear all these different people and all, age brackets. Her great-grandparents were there and all kinds of different age groups, just saying they had never experienced anything like this. And it was just so cool to see the people come together with their own skills. I mean, my husband works for ABC television. That's what he does for a living. So I told him this was his venue, and we expected spectacular. And my daughter had no idea, but she wanted to get married in a barn in North Carolina. That was our original plan. But her, right? Because let me tell you, the enemy of the world today is Pinterest, okay? Because those people put things in your mind that you shouldn't do. But her new husband, he wanted his grandparents to come, and they couldn't travel. Oh. And so we decided to do it at my home instead, because that way they could all be a part of this family.
Everybody's here.
You bet, because
yes.
that's what it's about. So what my husband did is he brought the North Carolina farm barn to my home. So he erected a barn in my yard. He covered my pool with a bridge that went to the barn.
Oh,
He
wow.
put up all these beautiful
Goodness.
backdrops. So when you look, I went to the florist, and the guy says, "Where do you live? Look at that view." I said, "That ain't my view. I live in Sylmar. That's not my view. That's a backdrop." He lit it with lights. We had an ice cream
Wow.
truck and sparklers, and it
Oh,
was
my
just like a good old
goodness.
family gathering. And the point being is I think as a community and as a world, we need to reconnect with that. It's not about the grandness of, not that a venue or a place or something can't give you that, but I think we've given all of our special moments over to things or to entities or companies, even our food. People don't cook anymore. We've given it all away, that labor of love. And I think where it really touched my heart as I was driving out here thinking about it was the labor of love we used to give our seniors.
Yeah.
How we used to bring our seniors into our home, or we would go to the church, and the church would have that group that would go out, and how we nurtured each other as a community. And that was kind of what was kind of rolling through my mind. And I would like to encourage, too, like even the young people that work in services to the senior center or in adult daycare and things like that, realizing what we all do in our world, it should be a labor of love. No matter if it's, the simplest thing in our community. I have extra food, I'm going to come down here to the shelter and give it away, or I have extra fruit on my tree that I'm going to share, or whatever it might be. And I think it's really hard for our seniors because that's how that generation felt love.
Right.
That's right.
Right?
That's how they grew up.
Exactly. And today,
It was
because
all around them.
exactly, and because we don't have that today, I think that's part of maybe that emptiness or that lack of, that I just wanted to encourage people and to go back to the things of value in our lives, the simple things that can make such a difference in bringing somebody up and having them experience, what they used to say, our golden years. When you had your loved ones and your grandkids and your great-grandkids around and doing. And as we sat down here today, Barbara was asking me where my granddaughter is, Dasha, because as most of you might not know, Dasha's been on the radio with me since she was 2 years old. She sits at every single one of these radio broadcasts.
That's right.
But because Auntie and her new uncle haven't left for their honeymoon yet, she ditched us for them. But it was really awesome, and it made my heart warm to see that part of what we're doing, or at least me, because I've been her caregiver for 6 years, instilling in her that next generation that I really hope can bring our world back into oneness. As everybody got up and did their speeches for the wedding, it was so cute. She came up to me and she said, "Mimi, I want to do a speech too." And I said to her, "Well, I'll let George know." And so the song was over a few minutes later, and so she got up there. And boy, to listen to what came out of the mouth of a 5-year-old little girl, she blew everybody away. And she had gratitude in her heart. She said the first time she met Jessica, she knew that Kyle was right for her. And she wanted to thank Mimi and Grandpa and Mom and her and Aaron and her auntie and uncle and all the boys that came over from Papa's work to help. And then at the very end, she said, and it was so funny, she says, "Now let's get this party going." And what it was is it just showed me, we don't want to lose those connections. Our connections to our seniors keep them alive. Our connections to the next generation allows them to see the morals and the values and what's important. And it's not what's on a television, or it's not what's on a new hip thing, or I've got to own. It's the simplicity of connecting with the people in your life that's important. And also, too, from the point of view is realize that things like alcohol are something of a celebration, but no one should ever allow something like that to disturb or disrupt a situation. And again, it's kind of about ownership of life. And I would like to just encourage everyone out there today, yes, this is a senior-based show, but then take your energy and focus it towards a senior in your own family or in your community, but also your own ownership in this world. Let's make this world a better place. It might not be your grandma that you're seeing there that needs help, or your uncle or something, but it's somebody's. So if we all stop and just take that moment to say, "Hey, can I help you with something?" Or, "Hey, let me bring you down this." Like, I have a little gentleman on my street that, when we were cutting down our tree, he's a woodworker. This man's in his late 90s, and he has a garage filled with the most beautiful pieces of carved and done wood with stone set in, and blew my mind. Oh, wow. And he spent the whole day one day with Dasha, but it was so cute. He wandered up my street when we were cutting down our tree, getting the house ready for the wedding. what you doing with that wood? I'm like, you want some of this? Of course, his wife said, don't you dare give him any. But again, it's just the simplicity of interacting. It's just stopping and saying, good morning. Or, you got extra this. I got zucchini out the ears right now, walking down the street or giving it to the mailman or something. But I just wanted to encourage that whole statement for us all to revisit what it means to have a labor of love. Mm-hmm. I did what we've done in our house in this last 6 months. I've never sweat so hard. I've never worked so hard. My house has never been so clean. Let's just put it that way. In the 34 years I've lived there. But you know what? When I saw my daughter and my new son-in-law's face and all the people partaking of the joy of the day and to hear the laughter and all of that, you know what? That's what fills our heart with love and joy.
Absolutely.
So I encourage everyone, don't sell away your labors of love. I know it's hard work to do, but back in the day, that's like we said, Barb, that's how we showed our love, Grandma made this and Auntie Susie did that and Uncle Joe brought in the cow for roasting and everybody came together for a wedding and it was a community thing and it was an event and it meant something, but it made memories. And like I told them, this is the first day of the rest of you guys' life together. We want to send you off with this. I was there, and it's so crazy to say that. I was there almost 40 years ago, and I told her, this is so weird revisiting, this memory with you and what my grandparents were there and how I missed them and, who was at my wedding and who wasn't and what went wrong and, how funny all that is and those special moments. So I just wanted to just encourage everybody out there, especially I think the people that work in the industry that deal with seniors and help seniors, try to relate to what their life was and do those kind of things. Because with them, it could be simple as a flower you brought in or a music from their era on your phone that you can play or showing them a funny cat video or bring our technology to them so they don't feel so isolated, because I definitely see that gap because of different values of different generations. And it's sad. Some of these seniors don't have family members or people that are there, and the only interaction they have is with a caregiver.
But the most profound thing that you have said to us, though, and which to me is in describing the wedding, was Dasha, your 5-year-old granddaughter. She recognized the love that you were giving and how profound it was.
She saw
and
it.
She's, with her seeing it, she is going to extend that from her generation to the next generation. So I know, Kim, awesome. We all feel that can some of this labor of love be lost, but I think it's still going to be there because of little girls like Dasha who are going to recognize that this is something worthy to continue moving through and recognizing of other people, especially our seniors.
Yes.
So she will carry that on.
And
I can see that.
And I encourage all of the people out there that have that ability to share with little ones and even older ones, Here I was having a conversation with my new son-in-law, about God, and it was a very interesting thing to see how much he's changed. And I said to him, that's what our generation is. We're your elders. We're supposed to say, hey, that's a rock in the road. You still might trip over it, and we're all here to support you, but I'm just going to let you know it is a rock. I hit that rock. It wasn't a fun rock, and the ups and the downs, because life is that. Life is extreme joy, and it's also extreme sorrow. The hardest thing for us this wedding is my mother-in-law is laying in a bed right now, and she had suffered a stroke many years ago, and she's just in a vegetative state, and it's really sad. And that's where, our hearts did kind of hurt a little because, again, our system is so wacky. Why we keep alive a body that has nothing going on there except because of, I don't know, because of money, because of, I don't know. I don't understand that. But the thing is if we just work on that love and that community and that connection, we'll never lose that, and we won't make those decisions that can be so destructive. But you're right. Dasha is my hope in that, and I see that. I think, with all the garbage on TV, I highly recommend people to shut the TV off and take them out and do like we do, get in the yard, the garden and the chickens and the things. And yeah, she brought up some pretty adult conversation, let's just say, about Uncle Jesse and Uncle Jesse. Yeah, Uncle Kyle and Auntie Jessica. But you know what? Again, it's an opportunity in life to share what's real. Yes, when you get married, Yes, you kiss and things. Yes, but you only do those things when you're married. And I thought, oh gosh, when she's a teenager, she's going to call us all out on this, But again, they learn from us, and we never want to forget that. And those seniors sometimes. I have a friend I brought up a couple times who works in Tennessee in a senior center, and the stories she tells me sometimes are just. I tell her, Amy, you need to write me a book, because the stories some of these people tell you from wars and business and life. And I mean, like this one guy was the biggest Cadillac salesman in Tennessee, and everybody knew him. And, and the stories he would tell. And I said, isn't it so sad? We focus on the stupidest things in our society of value. And here we have something that when we're losing a generation, that is a generation of things. I mean, think of what came to be in that generation's existence. You didn't have the TVs and the phones and the cars and the color. I mean, it was so drastic that it's so sad how much of that's lost. So I encourage you, if you work in that industry or you just see a senior or you're out in the world, interact with somebody.
Talk to them. Listen
Talk
to them. Hear them.
Sit down and spend 5 minutes and listen to a real story instead of the 5 minutes you spend on Facebook listening to some blah, blah, blah. Exactly. Because you might make their day, and guess what? They might bless yours.
That's very true. And Saturday, I went to my daughter's home in Palmdale, and she had family members and close friends. There were probably about 20 of us. And I was sitting there watching and listening to conversations and watching the little kids, and I thought to myself, Barbara, you're a mother, you're a grandmother, and you're a great-grandmother. How many women have that opportunity?
Right.
Right. And I'm thinking, wow, I don't want this to ever go away. Because it was an incredible feeling. It really was.
And I think that's the reward as a woman, and that's kind of I felt with my daughter's wedding, and just seeing all the hard work of everything, of raising her and being and doing. And you're right, seeing my daughter and my granddaughter and my family and my mother. And I mean, it's a crazy thing, but it's such a valuable moment in time, and it's so crazy how we just blow through things like that instead of just savoring it. And just like you said, just sitting and listening sometimes is just the most amazing thing.
It was
amazing.
Then
Barb too, to sit down and put on your little apron and get your little cookbook and imagination and get down there with them and play. When I do that with the ones around me, and people say, you're the kid whisperer. I said, no, I just want to I want them to understand this is how you're supposed to act. As I used to tell my kids, I'll never forget the first time my son was a little boy. One of the little boys down the street from us had his big brother over and all his older friends. And he came back up the street just crying one time. And I said, buddy, what's going on? And he said, those older kids won't play with me. And they hurt my feelings. And I'm like, you know what, dude? I said, let me tell you something. Because I believe in God gives us life moments. And that's what this is about, is life moments. And I said to my son, I said, listen, Timothy. I said, you know what? Someday you're going to be the older boy. And you're going to know what it feels like to have that kind of hurt put on your heart. And fast forward, I don't know what it was, 10 years, 15 years. He was down at a park in San Fernando by our home playing football with some of his buddies. And there was these 3 little boys sitting with their mom just watching like little puppies just drooling, watching them play football. My son got up, went over there and said, hey, you guys want to play with us? And these 3 little boys lost their ish. Let me tell you what. Let me tell you what. So they took them out there. They were throwing the ball and letting them run and do for like 20 minutes. And then the little boys had to go. And so the mom came over to my son and she said, you're amazing, And he says, my mama raised me right. And that's what it is. Us mamas, us grandmas, us daughters, us sisters, our husbands, our uncles, our aunts, whoever we are, share love. Let's share that, Let's focus on what makes us whole as a community and not what the television and the media and society uses to divide us.
And there are a lot of bullies in this world.
There's a lot of bullies, TV being one of the worst.
My goodness.
The news being the worst bully I know.
But those who are listening should think about the possibility when they know a lot of people have not listened, but they do have stories to tell, and they should find a way. We at the Senior Center have made sure that the seniors who have been in the military, those veterans, have shared their stories to College of the Canyons.
Yes, perfect.
And that it is all out there now. But there are other stories that are out there as well. The blacksmith, the car dealer, people who have been involved in society in some little way and big way that would teach us a few lessons that could help us move through life and allow other people to play as well.
Exactly, because if we don't know our history, we will repeat our mistakes.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Well, we need to take another break, don't we? I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, KHTS.
The best live theater can be found right here in the Santa Clarita Valley. The Canyon Theater Guild has been entertaining audiences for decades with top quality musicals and plays. Located on Main Street in Old Town Newhall, CTG also offers workshops for the young actor in your family. For more information, call the box office at 799-2702 or go online to canyontheater.org.
There is only one language spoken at Thai Dish, and it sounds something like this.
This is great.
Once people get a taste of Thai dishes, there's really no reason to do any more talking. Make it full of flavor, make it delicious, only at Thai Dishes. Enjoy the atmosphere, love the food. Thai Dishes on Valencia Boulevard for free delivery, 253-FOOD. That's 253-FOOD.
Oh,
Santa Clarita Water has a long history of safe, reliable water service. SCV Water is dedicated to increasing efficiencies, protecting our vital resources, and improving their customers' experiences. That's you. Meet them at their new home on the web at yourscvwater.com. There you can find the latest news, rebates, and much more. That's yourscvwater.com. They can't wait to serve you.
At Advanced Audiology, we know how important hearing is to you, your loved ones, your work success, your safety, and your ability to stay in the game. Most people won't admit hearing loss to themselves or others. We make it easy for you. Today's digital hearing aids come in a variety of styles, including invisible. All feature-rich, providing unparalleled hearing quality, wearing comfort, and automation that simplifies your life. Don't be fooled by our imitators. There's only one Advanced Audiology with the purple sign, next to AAA on Valencia Boulevard.
Now FM, 98.1 FM, and AM 1220. Your hometown station.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Dr. Jean Dorio with my co-host Barbara Cochran on your hometown station AM 1220 and FM 98.1. Your hometown station KHTS. We're talking with Kim Wahl with some interesting variation in senior life and how our expectations and how technology has changed things for all of us have sometimes put everybody on the outside of society. And, of course, because of our seniors, it is a problem with them to find their way back into society. And for us to put a hand out to them, reach out to them, and pull them back in, sure works well if we do it correctly. I think what you've described in terms of your daughter's wedding, it was so exciting to hear how you got all the family involved, all of North Carolina to be here in Southern California without people seeing a big change in that. But seniors need to be a part of society.
Yes, that's the
and
that's
those
the point.
seniors who are listening, who are not a part of society, we want you to be. This radio show, the Senior Hour, has been here in Santa Clarita for 15 years, Barb.
Yes.
And,
Wow, that's
we have
amazing.
attempted to inoculate the Santa Clarita Valley with seniorhood, but also bring it into our own homes and make sure that those seniors are still participating, are still a part of life here. And, the city council, for instance, our city council are seniors. One is not, but the others are seniors. And they are actively involved in creating a place where seniors can participate and be a part of life still. And so we are working on that. We had Arif Halaby come on and talk previously about bankruptcy. We talk about some of the negative things that go on here in life. But, there are so many positive things. And I'm just so thankful, Kim, you come on the show today and you bring a lot of the positivity out to make sure that that younger Dasha, your granddaughter, already understands that and can bring that forward to help those seniors like us in the future.
It's a value of life. If we don't teach our children this, who's going to teach them? The school isn't going to teach them.
Nope.
The television isn't going to teach them. We need that. And my whole thing is this. My gosh, people, wake up. This generation of children we've thrown away. And I feel this way about the whole vaccines and the food and what we've done to these poor children. Who's going to be there when I'm a senior and I need somebody to take care of me, or if I need to go to the doctor or this? If we have a generation of damaged people, we all need to take a step back and realize what's important. It was really sad, I think, in our culture when the media box convinced women that it was more important for them to go out of the home and work, to bring more money into their home to pay taxes on, and to lose what kept a family whole. And I don't care if it's the man that stays home or the woman that stays home when children are involved. But the thing is this, somebody needs to be involved. Somebody needs to be there for the dirty and the nitty and the gritty. And it's funny, I was listening to this guy the other day on a source of income, knowledge, and he was talking about this generation of kids, entitlement, and I want it because I want it, and this and that. I remember when my kids were growing up, my kids would tell me all the time, Mom, you're just not fair. My friends get to go do this. My friends have this. My friends this. And I used to tell them, right? You see any farm animals here? This ain't the fair. No, this is my job. My job now is to be your parent. And even us as adults, I want to be accountable for my life. Not that I need to leave a footprint that says Kim Wahl was here, but I want to leave a footprint that somebody else can sit down and say, man, this is a nice place. Or like you said, I'm sharing an experience with a senior. Like I do this all the time with Dasha when we go out into the world because, like you said, she's 5 going on 45. I mean, she could have her own radio show. Let's just put it that way. Trust me. But when we go out into the world, I make sure she interacts with people that way. Go over and ask them. Go say hi. Go do this. Why? Because again, for her, it helps her grow as a little person.
That's
but
right.
for that senior or that other person, you just see their whole face light up because. I'm sorry, but, God put little people here. Yes, they give us gray hair. Yes, they challenge us. Yes, they can be opinionated. But, boy, sometimes they melt your heart with the pure love of what is the value of life.
Pure.
And it's pure. And like I said, it's sometimes a little too honest and raw, but, it comes from a place of love. And I think as adults, we should never lose that. We should make sure we stop and we say to that person.
Are people losing it, though?
I think what it is we don't hear voice anymore. Everything's on the phone. Everything is a text. Remember the good old days when you just picked up the phone for 10 minutes and talked to somebody and you said, hey, what's going on? And you could hear the happiness or the joy. You could say, hey, what's the matter? You sound a little off today. Or, we've lost all that, I think, with the disconnect. So I just always want to encourage to stay connected and do it, like I said, out of a labor of love. Because someday I'm going to be that lady that might need help getting up and doing. And I sure hope I have people around me, and Dasha's already assured me that since I wiped her butt for the first 2 years, she would wipe mine for the last. So I know I'm covered, so I'm going to be good to go. But again, out of the mouth of a 5-year-old.
Oh, yes.
And
Out of
her
the mouth of
logic.
babes.
Exactly. And again, our seniors are our beautiful resource, and someday we'll all be that. So just stop and put some love out there and make sure that you connect with somebody as opposed to turning away.
We talk about different subjects on this show, but today I think you extrapolated a lot of goodness from people, and I thank you for that.
Hey
Kim
guys,
Wahl.
it's out of love,
If
man.
people-
I'm in the wedding hangover. Remember?
Family.
If you want those
so
seniors
important.
to get in touch with you, what is your phone
My
number?
phone number is 818-683-4876. And I'm going to tell you, if you just want to call and chat, you got my number.
Great, Kim Wahl. We sure had a great conversation today.
Yes.
Thank you.
Love you
Thank
guys.
you so much. We are sponsored by Advanced Audiology and Comfort Keepers in Home Care. Listen to us next week on the Senior Hour. Now go and enhance your quality of life.